Today, we're cracking open Zhuo's modern management classic, The Making of a Manager. Our goal is pretty simple, to give you a clear guide to the book's core ideas so you can decide if it's the next read for you.
All right, let's jump right in with a question that seems almost too basic, but it actually unlocks the most important insight in the whole book. What is a manager's actual job?
You know, when most of us think about what a manager does, our minds go straight to the daily tasks. They're in meetings, they're giving feedback, they're deciding who gets a promotion. But Zhuo says, hold on a second. Those are just the activities, not the real purpose. The myth is that management is about control. The reality, well, it's about something way bigger.
And that brings us to this one-line definition that honestly changes everything. A manager's job is to get better outcomes from a group of people working together. Your success is no longer about what you can produce. It's about amplifying what your team can produce, together. So how do you even start to think that way? Well, to help us wrap our heads around this big shift, Zhuo gives us a really powerful idea she calls the multiplier effect. And the best way to get it is with a super simple analogy.
Picture this. You've got a lemonade stand, and you are crushing it. Working all by yourself, you're a rock star who can sell 20 cups an hour. But that's it. That's your ceiling. You literally can't squeeze lemons or take cash any faster. But then you hire a small team. Now here's the switch. As a manager, your job isn't to sell those 20 cups yourself anymore. Nope. Your job is to build a little machine, a process, a motivated team that can collectively sell 40, 50, or even more cups an hour. You're not a seller anymore, you're a multiplier.
See, your whole role just flipped. Your focus moves away from doing the work to improving how the work gets done. And according to Zhuo, mastering this multiplier role really comes down to 3 fundamental pillars.
First up, pillar number 1, purpose. This is all about the why. Why are we even here? What's the point? What outcome are we trying to achieve as a team?
And this quote from Zhuo just nails it, right? A manager's first job isn't giving orders. It's making sure everyone on the team has the same picture in their head of why their work actually matters. It's all about alignment.
Okay, so once everyone knows why they're rowing and in what direction, you've got to make sure you have the right people in the boat. And that brings us to pillar number 2, people, the who.
For Zhuo, this isn't just about hiring smart people. It all starts with trust. And how do you build that? Well, first, you got to be a real person, not just some boss figure. You have to be direct and honest about performance so people know where they stand. And this is the big one. You have to focus on what people do best.
And this is such a game-changing idea. Great managers don't waste all their time trying to fix everyone's weaknesses. Instead, they get curious. They figure out what makes each person tick, what their unique superpower is, and then they design the work to capitalize on those talents. That's how you turn individual strengths into incredible team performance.
All right, so you've got your why and your who. The final piece of the puzzle is the how, and that's pillar number 3, process. How do we all actually work together without tripping over each other?
Now, when we hear process, a lot of us think of red tape and boring rules. But that's not what this is about. This is the practical stuff, the nuts and bolts that let a great team do its thing. We're talking about running meetings that don't suck, making it crystal clear who owns what, actually learning from mistakes, and building a healthy culture where people want to show up.
So, you take a clear purpose, you get the right people on board, and you support them with an effective process. And when you put all of that together, you get to the most powerful, most optimistic idea in the entire book.
And it's this. Great managers are made, not born. I mean, just let that sink in for a second. Management isn't some magical talent you either have or you don't. Zhuo is absolutely clear that it is a skill. It's a craft. It's something you learn by doing, by messing up, and by trying again day after day.
And you know what's a huge part of that learning journey? Feeling like a total imposter. She's so open about her own story, feeling like she had no clue what she was doing. And it's such a relief to hear, because it reminds you that feeling that fear and self-doubt, that's not a sign you're failing. It's a normal, universal part of the process of being made into a manager. And that brings us right to the end, to the big question the book leaves you with. If it's true, if great managers really are made and not born, well then the power is completely in your hands. So the question is, what kind of manager will you choose to be made into?